Okay. I guess I can try.
Don't try, just do it.
God damn it.
Just be
Okay,
grateful I didn't
Yoda.
do the Yodel line. No, I didn't do
Um,
the Yodel line. That's 2 on the list.
so, this, uh, this thing that puts you into a trance, uh, I mean, that seems pretty cool. What
It's
kind of steps do you take for that?
it's a sacrifice I made when I swore an oath.
Oh, um,
It's actually something I would not recommend for any others. It is.
it's okay.
Let me just say that years ago, when I wasn't sure, when I was very shaken and not sure of my own confidence within myself, I let it get to me, and it cost me a lot. And I hope to make sure that never happens again to others in a strange way, I guess.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go try a few of those meditative things you've talked about before and showed me, and
Yes, give
maybe
him a
that'll
shot.
help.
I would recommend you do it secluded and perhaps less clothing. It's usually easier if you can breathe.
Right. It's just like sweat everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just like dips quickly.
Yeah, I should point out, Lael does not wear much, usually. So,
True.
if my little token picture is any indication, he kind of looks like that, except he has maybe just leather pants.
Literally never wears a shirt.
Well, he has like leather strappings for a shirt, maybe a vest, but that's about it.
But yeah, Bearcat just dips.
Yep, he's Lael is fine. He goes back to doing his thing.
All right.
Tight leather pants, exactly. Lael has nothing to hide.
Okay.
Nothing to hide. And I think we've done our cooking, our stealth, and we move on to the next day, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the next day, Bearcat looks less stressed. Pretty
Indeed he
more
does.
calm mostly.
Yeah.
That's good.
And in a clean mindset.
Mhm. In fact, as you are meditating, you remember that there are sects of the Bakunis faith that actually do practice meditation and are connected to and have monkish traditions. Or should I say monastic traditions? That's the actual
Monastic
term.
tradition.
Yeah, as opposed to
Yeah, sure.
monkish. Like, "Wah!" No, not that. No, no. That's,
Well, considering the
uh,
location.
yeah. The monastic tradition. So,
Okay, cool.
that's
I
a low
would.
blow. That's a low blow, Gar. That's a low blow.
All right.
I read that. I'm just not going to acknowledge it
Yeah. So let's see.
because we know that's not true. Anyway,
Oh.
he's an elf. Obviously, it's like all like amazing or whatever.
Uh,
Well, Lael knows this for one.
uh, he's brimming with self confidence. What can I tell you? And make your survival and investigation roll, please. Okay. Um, yeah, with investigation, you do find in trails here that have been purposely cut to allow more easy movement in this area. But at the same time, they have been carefully constructed so that they're not too obvious. But because you have Hugh, he's able to do that. And Hugh, with your survival, you see almost again like almost chicken-like paths, marks, which are because of the size, they probably are from the lizardmen. But again, the lizardmen have been lizard folk have been very careful to hide their tracks. But apparently either they're very recent or the water hasn't washed them away the way it does in other places. But they're very careful to make sure that these trails are, shall we say, hard to find. But aside from that, you don't see any other activity.
Ever closer.
Hugh will inform them of the tracks, and then just so we have two different courses of action here.
Mm-hmm.
We either try and engage with them to see if we can get some more information, or we head north.
I don't think mindlessly trekking out into the jungle is necessarily the best idea, especially if we want to actually find what we're looking for or get back in a timely manner. We should make contact, whatever form that takes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to recommend that we wait here and that I go see if we can get someone to speak with us, because I don't want to destroy their path. Because I'm pretty sure if we moved Gar and his mobile army with us,
Right.
that path would be done.
The next day, the smartest thing to do is when we realize where it is, we stop, send you out to scout, and come back and inform us what's going on. Minimum.
Yeah.
For your mobile army. But I guess for tonight, let's do some hunting, some cooking, and see how that goes.
Not hunting tonight.
Okay.
Tonight is Goodberry.
Goodberry night. Okay.
We're
want me to
in
do,
someone else's territory. I don't want to
Yeah,
risk
fair enough.
anything.
Stealth. Do you want me to do the stealth then?
Go ahead.
23.
There you
I
go.
think we're good.
And
who's-
Bearcat is out on patrol.
And who is doing the watch?
The watch?
Mhm.
I'll watch.
What's your passive perception?
My passive is 16.
Okay, you do notice that close, but relatively good distance in one of these paths, a group of 5 or 6 humanoid figures are moving, kind of moving parallel to your camp, but they're moving north. They don't seem to have noticed your camp. They're trying to be relatively quiet, and they are very good, but you're better. You're
I'm actually tempted to get their attention. I'm not going to. I'm gonna watch. I do want to watch the way that they move to see what sort of signs of type of movement might be considered threatening and not threatening to them.
I mean, you glean that they're moving carefully, slowly.
Okay.
It's clearly a patrol, right? That they're searching out to make sure that you know.
Oh, it's a
and
patrol. It's not like a hunting party.
No, hunter party. This is a patrol.
Oh, if it's a patrol, that's completely different.
Yeah.
If it's a patrol, I will let the group know,
Mhm.
and then I will make a little bit of a sound and wave to them.
Okay. The moment you make the sound, they all go down. They're
Yep.
gonna try to make stealth checks. They do have advantage in this. It's home territory for them.
I make sure that the group knows. Like, I just let them know. It's a patrol. It's better to inform them as soon as possible instead of be waiting here and then get the surprise on us.
So let me see. Yeah,
Sneaky boys.
they just scatter and disappear.
Yep. I inform them that we are here. If it comes to conflict, we just make sure we don't damage them. But if they go get more people, then we talk.
Well, they've gone to ground. You have no idea where they are right now. So
Yep. Oh, 100%. And he was just saying this out loud in a non-threatening way, like it's
you're standing in common.
100%.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
We were
They're
told
not,
that we were told that the Lizardfolk were intelligent and that they avoided conflict with those big guys, and that's what he was going off of. If this turns hostile, then no. The Lizardfolk avoided.
Yeah, it was the other group who attacked them, and they made pay. Which
Unless
was
Hugh misheard, which if
no, you're right, Hugh. Yeah,
yep,
Yeah.
they told you about the lizard man, the lizard folk. They just avoided them. Let them live and let live attitude around. Yeah. After a while, either the lizard men are still on gun to ground, or they have moved on without you noticing. But they haven't come close to your camp.
yeah, no, he's not gonna push it. He's gonna wait to the next day to go and handle it properly.
I'm assuming they're watching us.
Seems somewhat likely.
Reminds me of that. You ever see that movie Congo?
And then it hits the point where everyone is back from doing their thing, and Hugh just walks around and hands out his good berries.
Cool.
And if we get to the next day, Hugh would indeed go into the hex below, moving at an expedited rate because I'm by myself, not actively trying to stealth.
Okay.
And he would try and find where their settlement is. Because he saw smoke before, so he would go towards where he saw the smoke.
Okay, make a now you have to make the 2 rolls: survival, investigation.
Hell yeah. And I will have my familiar give me advantage on the investigation, and my cat give me an advantage on the survival.
I mean, you already had a clue where you were looking, so that makes the investigation easier. But the survival is very good because you realize that these guys know the terrain.
Yep.
And they cover the tracks very well. But since you know where to look for the tracks that they, make, so you actually were able not to find them, but find one of these sort of secreted tracks that they use and follow it.
Yes.
And in the distance, you do see a fortified position. with quite a bit of Lizardfolk, and the Lizardfolk are all armed.
Yep.
With like they have like shields that are like the shells of like tortoises or turtles.
Yep.
They not giant ones, not the size of Gar, but relatively big. And they have spears. Their spears are basically made out of natural materials, like the spear points are made out of shark teeth or bone, and the spears are made out of wood. Are you moving openly?
100% moving openly, and he's going up with his hands like that, his hands clasped together like this. So it's if he were to, it would show he can't cast a spell.
Okay, so as you're moving closer, a single arrow.
Yep.
Lands near you, not at you. So clearly they were not aiming directly at you; they were aiming in your general area. It's a boom.
I stop and sit down.
And you see that more people, more of these Lizardfolk are sort of taking positions, like defensive positions.
Yep.
But they're not moving out to attack or anything. They're just sort of waiting to see what you're going to do.
He sits there with his hands in his lap, waiting until someone comes out.
So there's a standard. Everyone else, Hugh went out to do this. What are you doing?
Hugh goes off a lot, so it probably doesn't matter, right? Unless we hear like the shooting of arrows or anything.
Oh, you wouldn't. I'm in a the plan was for you guys to maintain our camp, and for Hugh to go parlay with the Lizardfolk, because then
Well,
he would
pointedly, I
potentially
didn't
bring
really
a
see
representative
Hughes.
back. Yeah.
Let's just see how the parlay goes.
I mean,
gonna be
there's
fun.
nothing we can do because I have no idea where you are, so because I wouldn't have followed you.
After a good half an hour or so, two lizardmen sort of jump the barricade and sort of land with spears out, and they're heading in your direction. And
Okay.
and more have taken position. Right?
Yep. And in common, it'll just be, hello, I wish to converse.
They look at you. They look at each other. They ask something, and you recognize the language, and it's not common, but the shall we say the dialect is very different. It's as different as when Kix speaks Draconic and Kobold speak Draconic. This is more like a hissing sound, right? More snake-like, but it's still very much Draconic.
Oh, in that case, I switched to Draconic.
Like, what is he speaking about?
I am sorry, this might be better. I wish to talk.
We look at each other. What does little lizard want with us?
The little lizard would like no trouble, and to inform you that me and my group are simply passing through.
And one of us says, but he has armies. I've seen them. Many men, armed. Yes. You people have armies.
Oh, that's just the one guy. They follow him. He's harmless if you don't talk to him.
Go fetch him. Yes. And one of them return, and the other one has a spear. He hasn't pointed at you, but he sort of, and they actually open the doors, and he goes inside. It's like, and you see an older. Well, you do recognize them because you are of lizard persuasion, I suppose. So you do recognize like an older female, right? Coming out, with a retinue of lizard men with them, all armed, but 6 of them.
Yep.
You speaks for the newcomers.
Yes.
There's another like us with you, isn't it? Red of scale.
Yes. I believe the term
bring-
is born of dragons.
And the other Lizardfolk don't have no idea what you mean by that, but she's like, born of dragons?
Yep.
Bring him to us. We wish to speak with him.
All right.
But tell the others, the armies, to stay outside, where we can see them.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I make myself able to travel faster?
And I see. Let's see if she understands what you're trying to say with that. Yes, you may use whatever magics you have to travel fast.
Panther, run off.
And they look at each other like, what the, But she seems to be more calm. So let's put you on the map. Let's see. Did I actually prepare the Lizardfolk village? Yes, I did.
Village.
Or at least wise.
And
Oh,
with
it's a very
how
big village.
Oh,
Yep.
village.
and with how long? Oh, hell yeah!
They got a galleon.
God.
And with how long I can be in my wild
the
shape?
entrance is here. You're talking from here, so this is
If you hold,
I said a
okay,
wall.
perfect.
Right? It's a river that actually prevents people from.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah, and as a panther, I should easily be able to go back,
Mhm.
and get my friend, the Dragonborn, and head right back.
Okay.
I will, of course, write down in the sand or on the ground what's going on, because I keep my mental faculties.
Yeah.
So I communicate what's happening, and then we go back.
Okay. So they bring Kix over, and so they're here, and the female, speaks, and let's say, my name is Iterance. I am the shaman of this group. Who you be, please? And you see that they're speaking Draconic, but it's a sort of it doesn't seem to become naturally to them. Like someone who has been forced to speak another language and trying to recover their own, right? They're having problems speaking it. Like someone like a second generation. The way I would describe it would be like a second generation immigrant to a new place, right?
Right.
But they seem to be of this place, which is weird. Why would they speak that way? Right? And they have their own dialect, right? You pick a couple of words and spellings that are kind of different from what you're used to.
So it's
especially
all a little bit odd, but Kix is still going to address it and puff out his chest as he always does.
Yeah, and especially with that sibilant sound they seem to add, which is not really natural to how dragons work. In spite of everybody confusing dragons with lizards.
So I'll go ahead and announce myself and say, I am Baron Kix the Shield. I am here with my friends to locate someone.
Who's you looking for?
My friend is looking for their mentor. And, Bearcat, did you ever describe what your mentor looks like?
yes, I did. He's
Alright, so I will go ahead and relay that description for right now.
He is a human, 5'7", brown hair. Name is Ikram Amal, and there's probably some other details in there.
My friend believes that maybe they are on this island, and if perhaps you've seen anyone by that description, it would aid us greatly.
Come inside. We must speak.
Very well. And I'll follow along.
And they take you one of the bigger huts here, right? And this boat is relatively large. In fact, these boats seem to be made like canoes. This one apparently seems to have been something that they are repairing. It's not of lizard men make. The canoes seem to be like that, and they show you, and there's their children, and there's it's a fairly large village. You must understand the situation we find ourselves in before you can proceed. You are all in grave dangers, and maybe one of the recent escapees has seen your friends. And if they have, well, pray to Marshal Kulk that they are alive.
Escapees. Do you mean the goblin wasp riders?
Oh, no. Goblins. Goblins work for the Yanti, the slavers.
Hmm.
There is a visible change on the face of Hugh the moment that slavers is said.
But who are these escapees in particular that we have to be wary of?
We are all escapees
Oh, okay, there we go.
from the
Context.
Yantis. We were born in this place. This was our islands. We share them with the frogmen. Battle with them sometimes. But it was not serious. Then many, many moons ago, the Yanti came from the mainland looking for something. And they enslaved us. First, they promised us power over the frogmen, but they lies. They wanted labor, our toil, our blood, our sacrifices. They split us open like fishes in their great mountain temples of stone to their dark gods.
I see.
Are these temples, and Hugh's going to point in the direction that we were informed by the giant apes?
Mountains, yes. You spoke. Oh, you spoke to the apes. Yes,
Yes.
they
yes.
too are natural of these islands. They are mostly peaceful. Very few are stupid enough to try to fight them. We are not stupids like some others. I see that you're not stupid as well. Good.
We did come in force, but because we did not know what to expect, we came by strange means. I wonder if perhaps they took similar means. Tell me, did these Yonti, did they come by boat? Like the one out there?
The Yanti came from a long time ago from the mainland. They came by boats.
Hmm. So they
Ancient
perhaps don't
drafts.
know.
They claimed that they were our kins, but they lies. The Yanti do nothing but lies. They have corrupted us, separated from our histories, our legends, our gods. Even the way we speak is different from before. We know this for ancestral memories that we still hold. But we're not the same. We have been changed by the Yanti. And when he says, as you see, like you
Everyone
who
like
are,
shudders every time, you know.
yeah, and
The
and some of
clouds darken a bit more.
some of these of the old, what looks like they're older lizard men have frills, and their frills sort of like, like they move, like they vibrate angrily, right? Kind of like the frills on the little the little dinosaur in Jurassic Park that spat venom, kind of like that.
Yes.
But not everyone. Like the younger lizard men don't have it. Only like seems to be older. Something that they develop perhaps.
I have question about society here.
Yes, speaks to your questions.
Are you the leader in all things?
I am the speaker for this village. Yes.
Depending on what is witnessed by myself, I may wish to eliminate the Yantis from the island and commit to that goal.
It won't be easy. We have managed to escape, many of us, because there's infanting among the young T. But once the war is over, they'll unite against whatever dark powers they worship and become stronger.
Do you have War Speaker?
We are but escaped slaves. We do our best to survive.
Would you welcome more like myself?
More little lizards.
Yes.
Where would they come from?
The way that we came. I have a tribe of my own that I do not fit in, but neither do they where we are.
Slaves?
They
No.
once were possessed by those by orcs and such, not too dissimilar from your Yuan-Ti. They had escaped and found freedom nearby to a town which we resided in.
More like monsters because of world.
It's this difficult world, yes. Very.
I will have to think on this.
They would be welcome if they could help us. This is a harsh place, even before the Yanti came.
If I can succeed, and if, upon thinking, this is my purpose, I wish to be War Speaker.
You have to prove yourselves. We know that you have armies.
No, not
have a
them.
target.
Not group. Me alone, War Speaker, with the people that I bring.
It's not possible for you to defeat the Yanti with just small lizards. They're too powerful.
I'd like to take your counsel on the situation. You say they're at war. Who and why, and what sort of forces do they seem to have? Do you know these things?
From time to time, the Yanti, in their arrogances, they fight among themselves. Whose dark power is strongest? When this happens, we try to escape their grip or sabotage them. Right now, they're fighting among who is the true god among them. We do have an ally, perhaps, but she will not speak with you unless you've proven yourself to be able and capable of defeating the Yanti allies, the goblins.
Tell us what we must do.
One thing that you would see, you've always seen Hugh, no matter how serious the situation, somewhat jovial. It looks like he is hyper focused.
Had a goal in mind.
You see another lizardman approaches and sort of whispers in what would be the equivalent of her ear, right close to the face, like Masha's descriptions. But escapes. I see. Perhaps, yes, one of the recent escapees has seen your the person you're looking for. But he also reports that there have been newcomers as well who have allied themselves with the Yanti. And these things have unleashed monsters into the jungle. Strange creatures with aberrant powers and magics. This is one of the reasons why you must prove yourselves. If you're not strong enough, you'll not be able to get anywhere near. We could guide you, but it will be a waste of time and lives.
I have been guiding us safely through, and I will not ask you of your time.
You will not make us. without our help.
In
I
that
guarantee you.
case, thank you. Before I do anything else, the moment they said aberrant,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use a spell slot, Primeval Awareness.
Bum, bum, bum.
And within 6 miles, because we are in forest, baby.
Yeah, aberrations. In fact, you sense multiple. And not only do you send multiples, make a intelligence check for this, yes.
I got
See if
this.
See if you remember something from the
And
notes.
you can do it.
Yeah, no.
Unless I have advantage now.
No. For this, you don't have advantage. That would have been great. So they had 19. That would be a crit.
Yeah.
Crit, but yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you
you
have
feel like
inspiration.
No, I don't. I used it.
When did you use it?
I used it on the last survival roll to get us to camp.
okay.
Okay.
So
Sad.
yeah. Do you kind of that sounds and yeah, they're multiple around the jungle, right? Quite a few actually.
I sense that I sense these aberrant monsters within the jungle.
Some of these aberrations already have been gifted to the goblins. We fear that if they grow stronger, they will finish us off and put us back in chains.
Then we finish them off.
To a 6 monkey.
Lael actually will say something. Are you sure that's something you wish to do?
Are you there? I thought it was only kicks and.
Oh wait, if I'm not there, never mind.
Yeah.
Lael will be quiet.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just want to remind it.
This is something that Kix may take a little bit more of like a whoa. Can we actually do this? There is 0 insight checks required to look into Hugh's state of mind right now.
Right. So
Hugh
Kix
has
just-
found a purpose. He believes in freedom for everyone.
Yeah.
These are slavers that he can actively shoot in the face and not get in trouble in a Greyhawk court.
Yup. Kix is gonna go ahead and put a reassuring but calming hand onto like Hugh's shoulder and just say, "We'll need to do some investigation first. We'll need to scout out their forces and see what we can actually do. But I
Elona
think
is
we
a
can
chaos.
form a plan."
Elona is a chaotic good deity, so.
Arrows need a target, baby. That's all I'm saying.
I think we can form a plan, and I think we can. I think it would be in our best interest to help them.
It's be known that some have been the goblins have been fighting among each other as well as a test of strength, and the strongest are chosen by the Yanti to serve them. They are well equipped and disciplined for their kind. They're also invaders. They came from the gates on the beach many moons ago. Not as long as the Yanti. Perhaps.
So they would have learned of it at least then. Shame.
At least less a generation ago.
I guess those wasps were bothering the region longer than I thought, huh? Never mind.
No, the wasps are more recent. You say that out loud, and if you don't say it, that's fine.
Yeah, no.
But if they say the wasps have been changed, they're part of the aberrations. They used them before, but now they're going stronger and more populous. There's more of them, and fire mantises, lightning scorpions, and some other aberrations. Deadly in battle.
I'm gonna see if you're as twisted as I am because. Hold on, I need to confirm the name of that's right.
So I mean, if they're fire and electric, we just need some water and ground types, really. I choose Gar.
Oh dear.
Gar uses water gun.
I apologize if this gives ideas that were not already there, but I have a suspicion about what's going on with the bugs.
I mean,
That's as good idea as any. I'll put it that way. You know, on the bag of ideas, that's a pretty good idea. That's
God.
Put it that way.
God damn it. Okay.
So I think now's the time to go ahead and turn to our speaker and go, I think we do want to help, and want to help in every way that we possibly can. You said there was something we needed to do to prove ourselves. What is it that we must do?
Defeats the goblin village closest to the paths to the mountains. That would help prove your strengths and also allows you to clear paths so that you're not ambushed on the way out. If the goblins are weakened, they'll fight amongst each other to defend their strengths and not bother you.
I see.
At least for a
Okay.
while.
What can you tell us about it? Where is it? Is it back on the peninsula?
No, it's deep inside by the lakes. At the foot of the central mountain pass.
What do you know about their organization? How many of them are there? How many do
Many.
they field out?
Many goblins, highly organized. Dozens, if not hundreds, per village. Not all of them fights, of course. They have children and women. But they have
So a
allied
larger
themselves.
tribe.
They have allied themselves. Well, per village. There are multiple villages. You only need to smash the one. The others will fight to determine who's strongest. But once they have allied themselves, first with the Yanti and then with these newcomers, they're growing stronger by the moment. More disciplined, better equipped, and now they have Aberrants with them, making them deadliest.
Oh gosh, Gar already doing the biological warfare. He's right, but
good lord, we're just gonna have to.
6 months of Vietnam, everybody. We got Ancient Orange here. Concentrated.
Time to push back the Viet Cong.
Right.
So after
Well,
we've
technically,
gotten,
the lizardmen would be the Viet Cong.
yeah,
They're native to this island. The goblins are
Mhm.
one of many foreign forces that have come in. So
So I'll ask them for particular directions, how to get there, and what may or may not be on the way, just so we can be prepared for that and have that. in place.
basically, they tell you because these newcomers that have allied themselves to Yanti, which are not goblins, to say they're not goblins, they're kind of like goblins, but not really. And some, I mean, they never met humans. So, you know, they say humanoid to kind of like goblin, but like less hairy. A few of them, and so concentrated 10 goblins, yeah. That they've been training with the goblins, and that these new creatures. The problem is, and that's why they do very aggressive patrols, is that there's some, when they say aberrations, they describe creatures that are completely crazy, like, have like 3 feet or very long appendages or go invisible or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of creatures that are there. And you can, Kix, now that you hear this, you can make an intelligence check as well, see if you remember.
Let's see. Kix is occasionally a little smart. Tell you what, I'll use my inspiration up to get that 19.
Okay, you remember that in the documents that you read, there was a mention of war beasts.
Ooh, war
But they took
beasts.
war beasts with them. This could be these aberrations. I mean, if these people are the ones, remember that you found that there was a group of hobgoblins and who else went through the gate earlier, and that the people in the camp outside of the gate were securing the gate, so when they came back, they could come back safely and not be ambushed. So yeah, that's the thing. And you found out those documents, like that they've been waiting for weeks, and no coming back, and they were getting frustrated and all that. So yeah.
Mhm.
If they brought a large enough force, then yeah. But
I
apparently,
see.
instead of like attacking and the Yankee or whoever, they apparently have find them an alliance with them, at least for now, anyway.
Right, and excising them out means at least our rivals will be fewer, so good.
So we're basically
Although there's, let me put it this way: there's a difference between the goblins they're talking about and this other force of slightly larger goblins, because as I mentioned before, the goblins you found had the 3-fingered mark, right? But they already had acclimatized themselves to the jungle. They had
Acclimated.
acclimated to the jungle. Yeah. So she mentioned that they had come like a generation before, so possibly they had come through the gate, maybe accidentally, who knows, or some other way. And yeah, so Greyhawk, Black Mason, yeah.
We're basically dealing with like 3 different factions that we have to contend with.
At least.
Yeah, at least.
I swear, if there's not a crashed starship here, I'll scream.
You let out a star scream.
Hell yeah! As the conversation seems like it's rolling to an end, Hugh will just So yes, we will deal with these goblins. But additionally, do you have anyone here who is hurt and in need of healing?
We have not encountered any attacks of late. My people are fine for now, but we appreciate your offers.
Well, we will do our best. I think we will journey there next and see what we can find and put an end to this before it begins.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead, courteously dismiss ourselves.
They basically give
reconvene.
you they say that you can stay. They actually have a hut outside the river here. They offer that hut to you for your use.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a patrol post. But the idea is that while, yes, they are allied with you, they will like to keep you at distance nonetheless.
Right. But, I mean, at least I appreciate the gesture. At least we won't get rained on more.
If that's the case, if we have anywhere to sleep.
Yeah.
In that case, if your hunts were not fruitful today, I can also assist in sustenance at a limited capacity.
I mean, they have fish. They have their food, right? And they even have some domesticated animals like chickens and stuff like that. Although these chickens are pretty colorful, right? They're not like your white and gray chickens of the north. They have black plumage, and some of them have very colorful plumage. So yeah.
And then if we're staying the night, Hugh will start to carve a new Hugh-sized staff to place beside his Webford-inspired staff.
Okay.
Are you okay, Hugh?
Absolutely. I am doing very good. I have discovered why I was given my powers.
So it wasn't the dragon?
Oh no, that was just a personal goal.
Ah.
See, that started because I talked to the Goliath, and he said it would be cool to kill a dragon.
How were you given your powers?
Oh, to free people. And there is slavers everywhere here, apparently. And the difference between here and Greyhawk is like a whole bunch of stuff. But doesn't get cold, which I always hated. And number 2, if I shoot a slaver in the face in the area of Greyhawk, I'm a monster. If I shoot a slaver in the face here, I'm just getting rid of a bad person.
I mean, technically, at this point, you work for me, and anyone you shoot is my problem. But, we are, in fact, on an island in a state of warfare, and there's multiple parties of different interest all involved.
I was actually thinking about it, and once we're done with our war efforts, and we have stabilized our area, I think I'm going to come here afterwards.
What?
Yeah. So once we've done all of our stuff in Greyhawk, and the orcs are no longer trying to, like, take us all out, I'm just going to come here.
There's a very convenient portal to take you to and from.
Hugh is not going to die of old age. Kobolds can live over 100 years old.
So you'll be here a while, basically, is what you're saying.
Oh, no, so I'm going back. But, like,
No, I
once
mean,
we're
I
done...
meant,
took
like,
it the
dying.
right way. He means we're going to be here 100 years.
Yeah, either way, no. I've decided. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to free these people and get strong enough to do so first.
Okay.
Okay.
Cautious is all I can say, Hugh.
What? Why would I be caustic?
Cautious.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Careful.
Oh, I don't do that.
I know.
Let's put it this way. You're an elf, right?
Yes.
Most elves live how long?
About 400 years.
Cool. As a kobold, I technically can live quite a bit of time. But we usually don't get past the age of 10.
Ah, it's because you're now 11. You've already outlived what you thought you could.
I thought I was going to make it to, like, 8.
You're already ahead of the curve, then.
Exactly. I've already made it. Whatever happens from this point on, it's just gravy. No, but, like, in all seriousness, I care about freedom, and if I die for other people's freedom, that's cool.
It's a good cause, and I'm behind you, Hugh.
Cool.
Yes.
But more seriously, to the events at hand. There's a village not too far from here that they want us to remove. It should be a tribe of goblins. Not all of them should be warriors, but we can get them out of this area. They may have been reinforced by, well, our orcish friends or hobgoblin friends who've come through before. And they may also be an additional factor here on the island. So anything we do here may also affect the war effort back home.
I must admit, I'm not exactly sure if I agree with us slaughtering those that are not willing to fight.
Nothing says we do, but we do need the village to move, and once it moves, there's going to be a power struggle. It will be an aggressive action of war. But yes, we did learn something about your mentor. They have in fact seen this on the island, and there is someone who's seen them already.
And that's how it got to the whole Yuan T mountain deal?
It's gotten a little bit complicated. But in short, if we do this for them, they'll share everything they have with us, including that information.
Okay, I guess we can do that.
See, the way I look at it, it's what we would have had to do already, because moving through, we would have been attacked, then... Now, as for the defenseless, I agree with that. If there's, like, a kid goblin running, and we don't have to take him out, I think we don't.
I prefer to focus on combatants. That's
Yeah.
where the danger's going to be anyway.
We show mercy where we can.
God, this really is gonna be fucking Vietnam.
Yep.
All right,
Um,
I'm bringing the flamethrower.
well, after that conversation, I'm actually gonna try and find a secluded spot. And if it's okay with lessons, I would like to actually try and get some spiritual guidance with Jianji.
Go ahead.
So, or excuse me, Jianye. I said
Roll.
the
I
D
believe you have to
wrong.
roll a D. Is it a D20? So one of the D20. Let's go ahead.
Just a random regular D20. No, well, it's a 19 then.
Yeah. No, silence.
God damn, she is hard to get to.
Mhm.
But then again, she's the shadow goddess, so that doesn't surprise me. All right, well, no guidance from me, so I will have to do what I think is right then. Are you sure about that?
Chancellor. No.
Prove you wrong.
Hey, next level I get swim speed with my wild
Oh yeah,
shapes.
when you do the wild shapes, you actually get stuff out of it, which is going to be great.
So like next level,
A crocodile.
yeah. Which means I'll be great for this conflict.
Yeah.
Unless I die. Because I spoke
Unless
too soon.
you die.
Are you planning on dying, Hugh?
Eventually.
I meant that sarcastically.
Oh. Eventually.
He's
Well-
not wrong.
For now, we should all get some rest, and tomorrow we'll head out.
Because you're in camp and they do have patrols and the like. In fact, you see that they only burn fires during the day and very sparsely, right? They're trying very hard to keep this place a secret, right? As much as possible. And then in the evening, they cook very early before the sun goes down. And then it's, they don't light any fires unless they absolutely have to. And then being very careful and very secretive. Almost like people that had been hunted. So the
Almost
next
like-
morning, escaped slaves, yes. And next morning we go back to the main map.
Yeah, back to the map.
They describe this area right here is just called the Blue Lake.
Mhm.
And the village is somewhere around here. And they'll try to guide you to it.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
a long walk, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, hope you're ready.
Adventure awaits. Huzzah. So,
They
on
do
the next...
they do give you like dry meat, especially like dry fish and stuff like that. So that
Okay, cool.
Oh, wonderful. So maybe we could go ahead and just march over a good bit of this terrain and just try to see if we can get there faster.
Yeah, well, it's like 5 hours a hex, right?
8 hours.
Well, if we're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Five-
if we're
yeah, because
traveling
you have-
fast, it's
5 hours, yeah.
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 We could do
Just so I keep an active track
Mhm.
about where everything is, I will regularly be scanning a 6-mile radius for aberrations
Oh,
at
man.
least once a day.
The village
Okay.
is only 40 feet away. We can get there in 2 turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you can only travel no more than 10 hours before you have to go to sleep, unless you want to push
Yeah.
yourself.
So
You
Two
do get-
hexes a day seems
What
fine.
what will help us
Mhm.
is my ranger benefit will make it so if there's areas that are magically difficult for us to travel through that they would normally take, we can take them.
So yeah. Yeah, more than 10 hours. I mean, you're passing half a day and you would need to
Yeah.
rest. Otherwise you have to start making constitution checks in order to not get fatigued.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're still looking at yeah.
So,
Mhm.
how many hexes a day is that? 2 then? Correct?
Yes.
Let's do it. So, boop, move there first.
Okay. So in this case, since you're not investigating, I just want you to make your survival rolls.
Mhm.
No, we are just going. Survival, advantage, 18.
Yeah.